Hey everybody, welcome to another Sunday Night Live My Life series. Tonight my guest is one half of Sierra Estate Liquidators, Laura. She was
Hello.
a little shocked when I asked her if she wanted to be on this week. So hopefully she'll give you good information about herself and you have good questions for her.
Yes. Nothing too hard.
And for people that are wondering, this is a weekly show every Sunday at 7 o'clock Mountain Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And we have various people. I have various people on and talk. They talk about their lives before they were resellers. So hopefully you learn something new about people you watch, and maybe you learn something you would never think of. So with that, Laura, I'll let you take it away.
All right. So I just get to talk about me, which I guess that's kind of fun. I know all about myself, right? I was born and raised in Georgia. We still live in Georgia. Um, I really don't have anything too crazy and eventful about my life. I was born to parents that were teenagers. So luckily, my parents are great and they're wonderful and they're still together today, which doesn't always happen. But my dad's mother loved horses, like always loved horses her entire life. She would jump a fence to get in a pasture to ride horses whenever she was younger. So as soon as I was born and she knew that I was a girl, she was determined that I was going to ride horses, and she was taking care of the bill, whatever needed to be done, she was doing it. So I rode horses for most of my life, like basically from the time I could sit up until I was about 15 years old. So that consumed a lot of my life, my childhood, which was wonderful and kind of like every little girl's fantasy to be able to ride horses all the time. So I loved that. And looking back now, I really regret stopping riding horses because it was amazing. Somebody else was footing the bill for it. Horses can be really expensive. So, um, it sucks that friends and things like that kind of took over and took a front seat to the horses because I would give anything to be able to have horses now. But whatever, it was a wonderful childhood that I got to have, and I'm grateful for that. I actually met Pablo whenever we were in elementary school. He came to my elementary school in like third grade, I think. So we've known each other pretty much our entire lives. We went to elementary school together, high school together, and middle school, all that. Um, didn't start dating until we were in high school, but and have been together ever since, which is pretty cool because I don't think that happens a lot with couples. They get to know each other from the beginning whenever they're like 8 years old. Um, what else? I pretty much grew up in the same town. It's a little town north of Atlanta. You probably may have heard of Kennesaw, Georgia, but probably not Ackworth, Georgia. Ackworth is where I'm from. Lived there my whole life, and then Pablo and I got married, and we have a baby now. He's 15 months old and growing faster than I could ever imagine. And last summer we moved to Adairsville, which is also a town that you probably have no idea where it is, but that's okay. It's in North Georgia. Um, and we live here now, and I stay at home with Javier. And that's kind of the reason sort of the reason why we started reselling. Pablo had the bright idea to do it, and I thought he was crazy. But it actually has panned out where it's exactly what was worked perfect for our family so that I can stay home. It's supplementing my income so that I can be home with Javier and still bring in some money. So that's fun. Otherwise, I really don't know what else to say. Anybody have any questions?
Well, what were some of the things that you were into besides horses when you were a kid? I mean, things that you
Um,
can use now, that people wouldn't think about that you can find out for reselling and you might actually make money.
so a lot of my childhood, I loved to be outside and do anything like that. I do remember kind of reselling related. I do remember in like fifth grade we would sell and like trade pencils and erasers and things like that in class, which was really not allowed. Like we used to get in trouble for it. But we used to do that all the time, which was kind of fun. Before I stayed at home, I was a dental assistant, and I really loved that. I actually like adored that job. It was fantastic. If we didn't have a baby and didn't move so far away, I would still be there. Probably still be reselling too, but I loved everything about it. The people that I worked with, the company that I worked for, everything. It was wonderful. But on the flip side, I really love being able to stay at home with our son and um, resell and stuff like that full time. Um,
Well, I'm going to do a couple of shout outs because we got 10
okay.
viewers. I didn't expect to have a full house tonight because of it being a holiday weekend, which I hope everybody's having a good one.
Yeah,
But we got
absolutely.
Andy, Chester Vision, she's in the chat. Mr. Sadie said Bubba and Ma'am. And the crazy Carson. And he said, "Oh, thank God, the cuter half." We got Joe Panico's in the house. Swamp Picker, Anita, no, Amelia, and Steven Scroggins, and Spiky USA was watching. And when I first posted this morning, I had a comment at 7 o'clock in the morning from Terry Johnson saying first. So
That's awesome. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in on this holiday weekend. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it too. What did you? Okay. What drew you to? I know this game sounds strange, but what drew you to Pablo since you knew him since elementary to
Okay.
wanting to date him when you get to high school when you could have been dating the whole time?
Okay. So I obviously, like I said, I met him in like third grade, and he was adorable. Like I wish that I had a childhood picture of him because he was like the cutest thing ever, which is great because our son looks just like him. But anyway, he's cute, funny, like he's super outgoing and friendly and just really personable. And we were always really good friends. Like he was the guy that was like friends with everybody in school. And I was more like the quiet, shy girl who was also friends with everybody, but like he was on the football team, so he was a little bit more well known, if you will. And we just always were really good friends. And then he always makes fun of me because we had class right next to each other at one point in high school, and I had music. And okay, so he's Puerto Rican, but he took Spanish, which like how is that even allowed because he speaks Spanish fluently? But anyway, which isn't fair. Like he should have gotten like an automatic 100 in that class. Super easy for him. But we had class right next to each other, so every day like we would say hey, and he would give me a hug, and I always thought it was like super exciting. And he found that out much later after we were dating, but and then we started dating like the next semester of high school. So he always thought it was funny that I thought it was so cool that he would give me a hug every day. But our little brothers, we both have little brothers that are like right at the same age. So they played baseball together. And I was at the baseball field with my family, and I saw his stepmom, his mom. And I was like, hey, are you Pablo Sierra's mom? And she's like, I am. And so anyways, then Pablo started showing up to baseball games, and we just started hanging out a little bit more and started dating. And here we are, married with a baby. Like 14 years later.
We have
So,
our first question from Mr. Sadie. He wants to know what level would you like your business to be in a perfect world?
oh man. Well, kind of our ideal goal is for both of us to be doing this full time. So, I guess to be able to thrive with both of us being home and being able to resell full time.
And Angie
What?
wants to know what is the one item you hope to find thrifting?
Oh gosh, something that's going to bring us a lot of money. I don't know. Um, we love finding unique and oddball type items, things that people may walk right past and never look at or never think of. I mean, we obviously love finding the obvious items too, but we love finding those unique things that when they sell, we're like, yes, that was such a good find. Like that was so crazy that we found that and ran across it. So.
Oh, well, I have a question. But it's not more about your life, but I was going to do a video on this because Ronnie did the show Friday night, and there was a question near the end that somebody asked about cellular phones. Do you think that the smartphones are needed in the business, or do you think that since there are people that did it for 20 years before the phones came out that were able to survive, which way would you swing if you had to? Would you keep the phone, or would you try using your gut and actually learning from the mistakes?
I would probably keep my phone because I just feel like that's a tool that you have now. So why not implement and use that tool? If you're at a place where you either don't have a smartphone or can't get a smartphone, then, that's fine. Do a lot of research, at home. Like that's, I think, whenever you're going to have to really be dedicated to watching videos and learning, things that do and don't sell and, just kind of feeling things out before you go out looking for stuff. But I think that since we have the ability to have a smartphone and we have that tool, why wouldn't you, if you can, implement that tool? I mean, we are always using our phones, for while we're out, and also, we to this morning we're basically sourcing on Facebook. There was somebody that had some things posted that we were trying to negotiate for those items this morning. So I think a cell phone is a great tool to have.
Angie wants to know why no Southern accent.
It comes out sometimes, that's for sure. I don't know. Every once in a while, it'll pop out with a certain word.
What else do you think would be a surprise for the viewers to know about you?
Um, I don't know. I'm pretty boring. Maybe Pablo knows some secret about me that he could tell everyone. I don't know. Really, truly. Hmm. I mean, I'm pretty, just laid back, go with the flow. Can can turn it on if I need to, stand my ground for sure. But I don't know. I was I was a pharmacy tech for a few years. So technically I was a legal drug dealer back in the day. That's what we used to say all the time. I started working whenever I was 15. And then I turned 16 like 2 weeks later, but it was a little local hometown pharmacy from where I'm from that the pharmacist basically called me and told me to come in for an interview because he was going to hire me. So that was a super easy job to get. And I worked there for a long time. I was a certified pharmacy tech, and I liked that job too, but the dental office definitely took precedence over that. Otherwise, I don't know. Pretty boring, guys.
Okay, we all know that you guys started the channel to give back. What
Yes.
drew you to watching YouTube? Besides, well, okay, I asked this when you were on my R show with Pablo, but it had to be something besides Pablo watching it that drew you in. Because some spouses don't even want to have anything to do with the other half doing the business. So there had to be something that
Yeah.
drew you in.
Well, so at first he would watch them, like all the time, and he would come home from work and he'd be like, "Hey, check this out, watch this with me." And at first he had to just, fast forward to the part that he wanted to show me, and then because again, I thought he was crazy wanting to do this, especially me being like 6 to 7 months pregnant, and he's talking about wanting to go out and buy random things that may or may not sell online. Like I was really too hormonal to deal with this potential life change at that point. So, things. And then once things started kind of selling a little bit and I kind of drank the Kool-Aid and realized, okay, maybe this would be something that could work out. I would not usually, I didn't usually watch anything by myself at first. It would usually be, he would say, hey, let's watch this video. So-and-so posted it today, and we would sit down and watch it while we like ate dinner or before dinner while I was cooking, something like that. And then now, since we subscribe to all of these different great people, whenever they pop up, I'll log in and watch them too. And it's fun now that I'm in it. I understand what it's about, so it's interesting to me now. But definitely at the beginning, I just thought he had lost his mind, and why he was wanting me to spend time going to the Goodwill and going here and there and then watch these videos. It didn't make sense, but I had to drink the Kool-Aid first before it clicked for me.
We got a question from Swamp Picker. Wants to know, out of the two of you, who had the best pick?
So we debate that a lot. I think it's kind of even at this point. He'll find things and then I'll find things too. I guess he did find 2 pair of those swim fins, so I guess he is one up on me at least at this point. Food Fighter toys, which were like these weird vintage toys that I just had a feeling that they were going to be something, and they were for sure. But he found those Scott Hawaii swim fins that were killer. So I'd like to claim it and say that it was me, but I think it might be a split between the two.
You both got the best picks. You got each other.
I'm sorry?
I said, or you can say that you both got the best pick because you got each other.
Oh, this is true. Very true. Then that would be him, right?
Well, why don't you give a shout out to who else you watch besides Chad and Ronnie? Maybe there's somebody that you watch that we don't know about, or
Oh gosh. Who are some people that we watch? This is horrible. I don't know. We watched Bonafide Hustler, Craigslist Hunter, Treasured Vintage. We watch her, and Texas Scout Treasure. That's all I can think of right now. And then, of course, like you and Ronnie and Chad. I can't think of anybody else. Pablo probably watches other people, but that's really all that I watch that often.
See, Steve Rankin showed up in the chat. Hey there, Steve.
Hey.
So, Eric can tell there's no big story about what your childhood that, like, with my life, when I said our boy was here with policy, there's nothing going on with that nobody has to know about.
No, I mean, like I said, I grew up in the same town. I was just pretty laid back, your everyday girl. I wasn't nothing too crazy that I can think of that ever happened, or I really can't. I told you that I'm boring. We're gonna lose watchers pretty soon because nobody's gonna wanna see this.
We're not gonna wait you. We're gonna wait in the holiday.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions? Maybe that'll jog my memory and make me think of something to say.
Well, Steve says he's entertained.
I'm glad you're entertained. That's great news.
And Angie, thank you for watching her.
Oh, you're welcome. I actually recommended her to, we have a good friend who's basically like an aunt and uncle to Pablo, they've just been those family friends that have just kind of been neighbors forever to his parents. And she and her husband do some reselling. And she was asking me the other day, somebody, and I recommended Angie to her. I was like, she'd be a perfect person for you to watch. So hopefully she's checking you out.
Okay, I asked you this before the show started. What was Pablo's reaction when you said that you were going on the show without him?
Oh, he thought it was cool. Yeah, he thought it was cool. He was like, oh, that's neat. And I said, I think that Chris is going to have you on at another time. So it'll be exciting to see his show.
Yeah, I told you after this before the show started, I was thinking about in a couple weeks. I do have something planned for next week, so I think put you and her in the middle between you and him.
Yeah, that'll be perfect. Yeah, he thought it was cool.
Okay,
You're so welcome, Angie.
Reagan says, "How do you straighten your hair so nice? I need a new hairstyle."
Well, this is all natural, you see. My hair is always so stick straight. So this is just all me right here.
And I see your other half just showed up in the chat saying, "Hi, my name is Pablo."
Oh, hey! The goofball, you see.
And I see Margaret came in, and we have a question from Steven Scroggins. How much would you all fork out for a item to resell?
It really depends. I mean, we really want to get our items as low as possible. So it really just depends on what the item is and what we can flip it for. Um, we just, yeah. I mean, as cheap as possible, I guess would be my short answer to that. We don't want to invest in a lot in an item and not have much margin there to earn.
And the crazy card wants to know, living in such a rural area, do you find challenge in sourcing hit any barns?
I would love to hit barns, but the problem with that is I would want to keep most everything that I found. Pablo and I, before we ever did reselling, I mean, even whenever we were, teenagers, we would go to like antique stores and stuff like that all the time together. We love vintage and antique type stuff. A lot of the things in our house are things that we found like that. So if I hit up any barns, it would not be for resale likely because I would probably want to keep all of it. And rural in a way, I mean, we definitely have a cow pasture right outside of our neighborhood, a couple of them actually. But we also are pretty close. I mean, we are, 30-ish minutes away from where we used to live, and there's like 3 Goodwills right around that area. And yard sales are popping up all the time. There were so many yard sales this weekend. And then there's one the next weekend, that's the Dixie Highway yard sale. That's 2 days. So we have, definitely some options. And then not too far, maybe 5 or 10 minutes up the road, there's a Goodwill there, as well as the Salvation Army and a couple of other thrift stores. So we haven't had too many issues finding places to source from.
Joe Panica wants to know, do you and Pablo take very important time for yourselves away from work?
We do. Since having our son, we're always with him. Our parents actually think we're kind of crazy because we very rarely have them keep him. And he's 15 months old and he's never spent the night away. I know my parents are dying for that to happen. So it's great to have that support system, but we utilized it yet. But as far as, taking our time away from work itself, we definitely do that. We love to go to Destin. That's our place. Next time we go, we're going to have to try to meet up with Chad and Kim and see if we can meet them in person. That'd be great to do that. But we love going to the beach. But also we love, even for the day, tomorrow we're actually going to go hiking to Amicalola Falls, if you're familiar with Georgia at all. It's a really pretty waterfall that has a hiking trail and some stairs and stuff. So we're going to do that tomorrow. So I think it's important to take time for yourself, spouse for sure.
They're joking around about watch out for cow patties.
For sure. Hey, if they sell, I'm all for it. Let's do it. What's funny that we live next to a cow pasture. We actually got married on a working cattle ranch. So my family knew this wonderful couple that they raise cattle, and we actually got married in a cow pasture. Thankfully, we did not step in any yes, Pablo, you have to carry Javier. We didn't step in any cow patties, thankfully, while we were getting hitched. Yes, you have to carry Javier tomorrow while we hike. Are you prepared for that? This was your idea.
Okay, what's the furthest you and Pablo are willing to go to pick things if given the chance?
Where would we what be willing to go?
Yeah, like say if somebody said I'll pay for you to come to California to pick, would you go?
Absolutely. We are all for adventure. I mean, before we had the baby, Pablo had a motorcycle, and we love to ride that. It's a little difficult to be able to have a motorcycle and a baby as far as the both of us riding. So sadly, we did sell that not too long ago. But we would be all for it. No matter, like, if you told us go to Tokyo, we would do it. Especially if you're going to pay for it. That's even better. We love adventure.
So that means when you go to visit Chad, you have to watch out, and you might go pick his areas.
What?
I said when you go to visit Chad, if when you get to go visit Chad and Kim, they gotta watch out. You might go picking their area.
That's right. We'll have to check it out down there. We love that area. Love it.
If anybody has any questions for Lura, let them out. See, that's what she's here to let you get to know her.
Yeah.
And while we're waiting for any questions for you, you got anything for me?
Oh, man. So you were telling me something. Where are you from originally?
I was originally born in Connecticut,
Mm-hmm.
and then I moved up to Massachusetts, and then I moved over to New York.
Okay.
So usually, when somebody asks where am I from, I say the northeast corner.
Yeah. Have you lived anywhere else besides the northeast corner?
Well, I'm in Colorado right now. Otherwise, nope.
Gotcha. How do you like it versus the northeast corner?
It's hotter, but it's not as cold in the winter for me. But
Okay.
ask the wife that question, she might tell you a different answer. But here we can hit 110 degrees in the summertime. And when I say I'm in Colorado, most people think, "Oh, well, that's cool. You're near the mountains and everything else." Not all of Colorado is mountain.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we've never been to Colorado. We might have to make a trip out there and visit you while we're there too. Come out to your area.
But that's okay. I don't go out that often, so we'll explore it together.
There we go.
Especially when I haven't gotten up to Colorado Springs, and a lot of people there's a lot of Goodwills and stuff up there supposedly.
Okay.
So I may be the walking picker, but I'm not gonna walk to a city that's 30 minutes away in a car.
Gotcha. Yeah, that'd be a trek.
Yeah, most of the time when I walk, it's well, I usually take a four when I do just yard sale night. I'll take me about 4 hours. I'll leave on like 6:30, 7 o'clock. I usually make sure I'm home by noon at the latest, unless there's way too much not to come home, drop stuff off, and go back out.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, yard selling is something that I actually did whenever I was younger with my grandmother. She would love to go to yard sales, and so I would go with her. But yard selling with a 15-month-old is a little bit of a different story. It's difficult to go from, neighborhood to neighborhood and pop in and out of a car because getting a baby in and out of a car isn't very convenient. So it definitely, you know, takes a little bit of time, and you want to go to a neighborhood where you can park and put him in a stroller and walk around the whole thing instead of driving from place to place. So definitely puts a little bit of a wrench in the situation whenever you have a little one to tote around.
If you were to move, where would you want to move to and why?
Oh gosh, well, nowhere cold because I don't like the cold. Pablo would probably we'd probably split ways if we moved to wherever we wanted to move because I would probably go to like a beach somewhere, like Destin or somewhere in the Panhandle area of Florida, just because I love the beach and the warm weather and that kind of thing. But Pablo would probably move somewhere that's cold most of the time, just because that's his nature. Um, Yep, Florida, of course. That's right. Um, but we both do really love Savannah, Georgia. I know that isn't anywhere crazy, but that's like our one of our favorite places. So maybe there, or I don't know if there's much to do in Savannah that to live there, but we do love that. I guess I could go to the beach then because there's Tybee Island, but maybe Savannah. We could probably compromise on that.
Now I'll have to ask him that when I have him on and see what his answer is. If I say,
Oh, Vinny Van
oh,
Gogh.
Canada.
Vinny
uh,
Van Gogos is the most delicious pizza place ever. It's in Savannah. It's a little like shack. We love it. If I moved to Savannah, I would probably weigh about 700 pounds because I'm pretty sure I'd eat Vinny Van Gogos all the time. So that would probably be a bad idea if we moved there.
so you weren't into the sports, or you like to watch sports, but you didn't participate in sports when you were in high school?
I didn't. I guess because I just involved so much of my time into riding horses that, by the time I got to high school, I didn't really have a sport. A lot of people think that I was a cheerleader. I was not. I could have been. I would have liked to have been, I guess. But I never had that background of gymnastics or anything like that. I did do like tap and ballet along with riding horses whenever I was younger, and I liked that. But it's funny that I did tap and ballet, but I really can't dance at all. Pablo can contest to that. Um, I guess I don't have any rhythm. I don't know, but I'm not a very good dancer. So it's funny that that was something that I did when I was little. Um, but no, I didn't. I love sports though. Football is my favorite. Like I can't wait for football season to come back. Baseball's okay. It's fun, but it's one of those like the Braves are not that great, but we'll go to like one Braves game a year, but I could go to like a Falcons game or a UGA game like every weekend. Would love it. That'd be great. We also liked hockey. I don't like watching a lot of sport. I watch football on TV like all day long, but other sports I'm not too big of a fan to watch unless I'm there live. And hockey was one of those that when the Thrashers were in Atlanta, we would go to Thrashers games all the time, and it was a lot of fun. But maybe it's because it's more like intense, the like football is. Baseball's a little slower. So, but yeah, I did not play any sports. I mean, I can. Like, we could go outside and, like, I can throw a football and I can hit a baseball, like that kind of thing, but I was never on a team of any kind.
Well, since you were into horses, didn't do any schools in Georgia or in that area have equestrian teams?
I don't think so. Um, to be honest with you, I don't really know, but I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure that there's probably some colleges that do, but like as far as high schools and stuff like that, I don't think so. Maybe somewhere like up here, like in the more rural areas where horses are a little bit more of a thing, possibly, but I don't know.
Because that sounds like how does people get into equestrian if there's no schools to actually learn unless you're going through like a program type of thing to do
Right.
it?
Yeah. I definitely did things um you know, my grandmother, like I said, she's the one who got me into it. So she would either send my horse to a certain trainer and we would go there. I mean, we at times my horse was probably like an hour and a half away from where we lived at a trainer. So every Friday she would pick me up from school and we would go and either spend the weekend or just that night. And we would I would have lessons the next day. And most of the time my horse was where near where we were, and so I would go and have to feed it and brush it and let it out and make sure it had water, all that kind of stuff. But there were times where it was, further away, and we would go there and spend the weekend so that I could lessons from whatever trainer it was that my grandmother thought was the best for the situation that I was in at the time. So yeah, a lot of time went into that. Oh yeah, it has been a rough decade for Atlanta sports fans, but we're dedicated even when we suck.
Swamp Picker, who's in Louisiana, said some schools there have rodeo teams.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think there's a college. It's ABAC, Abraham Baldwin. It's like an agricultural college in Tifton, Georgia. I think they have some, um, you know, horse riding, like that kind of thing. We had a friend that rode bulls whenever he was in high school, and he went there, and I think they had some kind of rodeo type team there. Probably could answer that question a little better, but yeah, I
And
never.
Pablo, I'm going to tell you something right now, Pablo. You should take her out for a horse riding day. I think she needs one.
Yeah, gosh, it's been so long. I guess it's like riding a bike, though. I did it for so long, I probably would know exactly what to do, but it kind of feels like I wouldn't.
Oh, we got about 21 minutes. We're over 20 viewers, so we actually went up so far.
Yay!
So, any of you
Thanks for
that
not
are
leaving.
coming in late have any questions for the Lord, just please ask away. They can be weird.
Yeah,
We're not specifying on business. It's just to get to know her.
just to get to know me, little old me. Ask me whatever you want.
Hey, she Dawn just said hi, so yeah.
Hello.
Okay. How about I'm gonna turn it a little bit. Give us something that we don't know about Pablo that he may not want you to tell.
Oh gosh. I don't know.
Don't worry,
Pablo's
because
pretty
he may
much an
have
open
something on
book.
you for next when he comes to visit. So I will at least give you
I might,
fair
have,
opportunity to say anything.
I might have to be careful what I say. No, seriously, I really don't know. Um, yeah, I feel like he's a pretty open book too. So I'm telling you, we might be the most boring people you ever have. Dirt. Yeah, I really don't have any though. I mean, I know that I've known him since he was like 8 years old, but we really don't. We weren't that crazy. I mean, Pablo was crazy, but he was like your typical high school kid. He was like he went to parties, that kind of thing, and I was not. I was like the good girl that like I don't know, was quiet and just not the party goer. So he was like your typical high school football player. I really don't have any dirt, I don't think. I'm sorry, guys. I may think of something. I'll think
While you're
about it.
thinking about it, LV Whooper asks, do you find a lot of Masters and Augusta National logo apparel at thrift stores in your area?
You know, not really. I think we may have found one or two things, but nothing, not often if we do find anything. It would be very random if we did. And yeah, not that often, surprisingly. I mean, we're not really that close to Augusta, I guess. We are in Georgia, but not that close.
And Alvin Smith wants to know, what breed of horse did you have?
An Arabian. That was what we usually had. The really feisty, spunky horse, which was fantastic. Most people think they're pretty crazy and dumb, but they're really smart and crazy, but they're really smart. And I loved it. I loved how excited and revved up they would get whenever you took them to horse shows. I mean, they would just like be so crazy in the stall because they were just so excited to be somewhere. I also rode quarter horses too, and thoroughbreds, but most of the time it was an Arabian favorite. So that's what we rode most of the time.
LV said, probably a little too far away, he guessed.
Yeah. So Kelly, you have a farm with horses? We might have to come visit you in Ocala then.
We had to stop, visit Chad, then go to Ocala because I don't know how far away it is from the Panhandle.
Yeah, it's a little further down, like towards the middle of Florida, I think. But I've been to Ocala before. We actually had a horse show there, and we ate at this place called, I think it was called Lucy's or something like that. It was really yummy. It was like a little fast food place. I don't know if they still even have them.
I guess it's Kelly's mom's farm, and she takes care of the horses.
Oh, okay.
And LV says, by the way, since your hockey team left town, you're welcome to become a Penguins fan.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah, we don't have our Thrashers anymore, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but you can also go down and be a Florida Panther fan because you're closer to Florida than you are to Pennsylvania.
This is true. Very true. I think it is. It's a little chain restaurant, like a Jack in the Box or whatever. I think it's something similar to that. It was yummy. That's all I remember about Ocala.
Hey, Mike, I see. Glad to have you. It's talking about the Penguins being in the finals.
Yeah, sadly, I really honestly didn't know or don't know much about hockey. I just know that it was pretty entertaining to go, and we had a lot of fun whenever we went to the games. So I was good at it if they got in fights.
That's what I said. It's probably the fights that drew you on hockey. I don't even like hockey.
Yeah, it was definitely like the fights and the like intense play and like them being very aggressive against each other. Like I said, I like that kind of thing. Football, I guess because it's just more high intensity versus baseball. It's a little bit slower, so not as entertaining to me.
You'll get into UFC?
Yes, we actually, crazy enough that you say that, we had a friend that whenever we were in college that actually for his college, at his college, he fought in like amateur UFC fights, and we drove all the way to Valdosta to watch him fight one time. But yeah, we like UFC. Like we used to go to local bars and stuff and watch like the big UFC fights and stuff like that. So that was, yeah, we like that. Christmas, nothing. You're getting coal for Christmas.
And the crazy Carrie wants to know, you a cat or a dog, people? We talked about this before the show.
I'm an all animal lover, to be completely honest. I do like dogs. I did have cats growing up. Pablo doesn't like cats, so we'll never have cats in the Sierra house. Um, but I'm an all animal type person. Pablo actually makes fun of me sometimes because those people that you go into someone's home or something and they're like, yeah, that cat really doesn't like people. And I'm like, oh, but it's so cute. And then I'm getting scratched because I'm like trying to make friends with the animal in the floor. Or, you know, like I see, like whenever I was little, like I said, we had cats, and one of my cats got a chipmunk, and I rescued the chipmunk from my cat. And tried to, like, my mom came outside and I'm like holding this baby chipmunk and she's freaking out. I'm like, no, it's okay. I got it from cat. And so I'm that person. I'm the one that always ends up, I didn't get bit or anything by the chipmunk, but I'm the one that always gets like attacked by the cat or something like that, because I just think like, and they love me. Like I think I'm Snow White and I'm not. They don't love me. They're crazy. Yeah, I love all animals. Yeah, you're not getting anything, Pablo.
It's okay, the fact he made this a new account just so he can come in and chat. Like, I'm glad he did, but the name he came up with.
Hi, my name is Pablo. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Maybe you're going to get a cat for Christmas.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get something for your son to bond with as he grows up.
Yeah, well, we have an English bulldog named Lucy. So, and Javier thinks that she's just the coolest thing ever. Excited whenever he gets to see her. So, um, so yeah, we have Lucy the bulldog. She's enough for Javier to have.
Okay, I'm trying to think of something else. It may be a surprise to the. Oh, actually, I was to ask you how. I asked you before the show.
Mm-hmm.
How I think it's what been a month since you've become an admin of the society.
Yeah.
How's it? How you feel about it and whatnot?
Yeah, I like it. I like helping people in general. I just honestly, that's just kind of my nature. I like to help people out, and especially, you know, in this industry, if you will. I think that the ability to get the help, you know, that's great that you have somebody there to support you. We didn't have the reseller society whenever we started doing this, so that would have been great to have that at that time, to be able to ask questions too. So, helping people out and answering their questions. And like I said, in general, I'm a pretty nice person unless I need to not be a nice person. And then I can turn that switch on. But I like it a lot. We actually worked at an auto auction whenever we were in high school. And that's probably where I learned that there were times where I needed to not be the nicest person in the world. So I can turn on whenever I need to. I have it a lot, actually. It's kind of just how it lands. But whenever I need to not be so kind, that definitely can come out. Pablo, no comments to that. In general, I'm really just laid back and nice and, you know, go with the flow kind of person.
Oh boy, man, now you need to be quiet. Let's see, what else can we got 10 more minutes. What else can we come up with while we're waiting for more questions? what mm, where would you put yourself in? I don't want to say category, but like, are you still you can see yourself still a beginner, intermediate, type in regards to reselling?
Oh, I definitely would say kind of like in the middle of beginner to intermediate. I don't think that, we're definitely not on the expert level. I think that no matter how long you've been doing this, there's always something that you can learn and something new that's happening. So I think that we're a little bit past the newbie stage, and we're kind of going into like the intermediate area. But there's still stuff that we even learn and need to learn and freshen up on. I don't think at any point anybody's an expert in any one field. So definitely think we're heading into the intermediate stage. That's for sure.
Well, and for anybody that's wondering, their channel is down in the description. If you haven't already subscribed, I don't know why you haven't.
Yeah, come on over, subscribe to us, and like our stuff. If you don't like it, just don't do anything. Go away. Just kidding, but not really. Don't thumbs
Well,
down us. Okay?
if they don't like it, they can hit the dislike and still give you action because that's how it doesn't really matter to YouTube. It still counts as an
Okay,
activity.
there we go.
So,
But be nice and give me a thumbs up instead. No thumbs down, because that's just me.
well, while we're waiting, I'm going to say that next week I'm going to be having Rebecca Fox on, and she'll be talking about her life next Sunday
Sweet.
before she started doing reselling. And Wednesday night on the R Show, I will be having Gladys Ramos on, and we are going to be talking about promoted listings. So I know there's
Very
been a lot
cool.
of questions in the different groups about promoted listings. So that's what we'll be, and she's going to be doing a webinar of some sort in the morning. So I figured I'd ask her if she wanted to be on. She said yes, and we're going to cover it again that night. So if you missed it during her show, you can come back and learn from Gladys on that night.
Very cool.
Oh, we have a question from Joe.
All right.
Would you have ever envisioned your life to be where it is now from your early days of career planning? I know mine is so much different than 40 years ago.
No, I wouldn't have. I am kind of the main person now that does the listings and everything and packaging and all that for eBay because I do stay at home. I never really envisioned that we would be able to have me stay at home. Stay at home because we have a baby. And I never thought that that would be something that would be possible. So I am very grateful for Pablo's crazy idea of reselling because that has given us the opportunity for me to be able to stay at home because that's something that my mom stayed at home with me. She worked a little bit whenever I was younger. But I always stayed with a family member. It was either my grandmother or my great grandmother or somebody. So, being able to stay at home was something that kind of was something that I always would want to do, but I never thought it would be financially possible for us to be able to do. So I'm definitely grateful for that. And I did not expect that at all to be able to be something that could happen for us.
We got
No.
oh, good.
It's fine. No, we don't have a niche. We just like a little bit of everything. So we go for whatever's going to make us money.
Amelia wants to know what items do you like to sell and what items do you stay away from and not touch?
Items we stay away from are Coca-Cola items because they just don't sell for us. I mean, we've had a random thing sell every once in a while, but for the most part, Coke just doesn't sell for us. Unless it's, like I said, something very just crazy that just isn't out there. I feel like the market's pretty flooded with Coke stuff, so we don't really touch that. what items we like to sell. Really, it's a little bit of everything. We love the unique items, things that we find that we're like, oh my gosh, this thing is so cool. Like, and either there are listings for it or maybe there aren't listings for it. Um, we uh, we love to find those unique oddball items.
And Kelly says that she's new to YouTube, just wants to say hi to everyone. I watch a lot of audiences videos, learning every day.
Awesome, Kelly. I'm glad that you're learning from the videos that everybody makes, because that's really, I think, the kind of everybody's main point of making these videos is just to try to help people and share their knowledge. So I'm glad it's working.
Even though you may hear the same thing from
And
different people, one person might say it differently that connects with you better than how someone else says it.
absolutely. And, I don't think that, there's certain things I don't think that there's an absolute way to do different parts. I think that different things work better for different people. And so I think that, what you may hear someone's opinion, like my opinion on, or Pablo's opinion on, may be different from, Chris, your opinion, or Chad's opinion. And that everybody's business plan is different and everything works differently and better for different people. So, that's good. I'm glad that I hope you're, checking up multiple people out so that you can learn and get everybody's, outlook on it and then figure out what's best for you.
Well, we got about 3 more minutes, so we'll see if there's any last minute questions.
Cool.
Kelly says, yes, and I have made so many mistakes, believe me.
Oh, yes, I understand that. One of our first items that we ever sold, Kelly, it was this Disney, Pablo picked it up, and it was this Disney sells. We love Disney stuff. It was these, like, I think note cards or notepad or something from like a Disney cruise, and it was still in its little wrapper and everything. And then we had that listed, and we went out and we came across a mug that was from the same cruise line and everything. So we decided that we were going to put them together to see if it would sell better. Well, we did. We took new pictures and fixed the listing and everything. But we didn't change the weight from just the notepad to having the mug, and it obviously weighed more. So we definitely lost some money on that that sale. And it was one of our first ones that went out, which didn't really help Pablo's case very much with, this is such a great idea, because then we're losing money on sale number one. But, you live and you learn, and now we're very, we have a scale, and we're very particular about making sure we weigh things before we list them. And unless we just know the item and it's something that we sell all the time, make sure that we have our weight correctly and all that stuff in there as it should be, because
shipping is usually the main cause of most pains for resellers.
Yes, shipping is no fun. It's like shipping to California, because we we live in Georgia, and shipping to California is like an arm and a leg. It's crazy the cost that it is to ship over there.
LV Looper wants to know, now I'm assuming he's talking about guests as in guests from my show. Do you have any advice for hopeful future guests?
Oh my gosh, just be yourself. Like, just, Chris isn't going to tell you what you need to say beforehand. You see, we were on the R show, and I am like super planner lady. Like, I'm crazy OCD. Like, I like to know and schedule things out and plan everything out. So whenever he asked us to be on the R show, I was like, so what are we going to be talking about? And he was like, I'm not telling you. And like, I was having like anxiety, but I think just be yourself. And Chris is super great. So he'll just lead you right where you need to go. So no worries.
Yeah, the R show is more geared toward the resale, and this is more geared to getting to know the people.
Yeah. And either way, you should be yourself. But yes, I really just don't know what to say. I just don't feel like I'm very, interesting. I don't have anything too crazy to tell you guys. So I appreciate you guys sticking out the whole time and sticking with me.
Steven says, thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
And LB says thanks. Hope to start getting in on the YouTube videoing in the fall.
Yeah, do it. It's fun. We honestly started whenever we did our first one. Paul was like, "Why don't we make a YouTube video?" I was like, "Let's do it." And it was one of those just like spontaneous. Like that's totally our personality. Like, why not? Let's do it. Why not? Let's have some fun. And then we did it and we liked it, and so we just kept on, and here we are now. Why not?
Yeah, you never know who will find you.
That's right. You never know who's watching. Yeah, I think you should start doing videos, Golden Finger Picker. I think that'd be great. Just be yourself, but don't make them too long.
Kelly, are you asking her the store name or are you talking about the YouTube channel? Because the YouTube channel link is down in the description. And if Laura comments in the chat, you can hover over the name, and subscribe that way.
Yeah, subscribe to us, Kelly.
Well, we are just past the hour, so Laura, I want to thank you for coming on. I know, like I said, it was a little bit of a last minute, not necessarily last minute, but a little shock when I asked you during the week if you wanted to come on this week.
No, that was fine. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
See, as people know that you're not always by Pablo's hip on
That's
video.
right. That's right. I mean, we have been pretty stuck together for the past 14 years, but no, we are definitely our own people also, for sure, for sure. You're welcome. Thank you all so much for checking this out.
Uh, Thanks everybody for watching. I am not going to do an after show hangout tonight because I haven't had much sleep, so I'm not going to be wanting to sit around and chat tonight. I want to start getting some sleep early.
Yes, go to bed. That sounds great.
So thanks again for watching. I will look forward to seeing you all on Wednesday night when we talk about promoted listings.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye,
Thank you guys
everybody.
so much.